All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's episode 20 of the evening hour, and it's going to be a fun one. Here we go. Today we're going to be talking about all things Mars attacks. Yeah. My fave. Okay, folks. Here, look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. What can I say? It's the evening hour, and we're going to have a blast. Come on in here. We got William, Amanda, Libra Liz. Who else is in here? William, come on in, people. Let's have a good time. Listen, it would seem that there's some problems right now, some serious problems in the USA, and I ain't going to discuss that tonight. It's not what this show is. This show is about fun, and when we're done here, we can all go watch the news. This is the fun news. Eric, what's up? Oh, you dig the music. Grazie. That's stuff that I write and play. Thank you so much. Yeah, folks. I mean, you saw the model kit. Look at this. When this model kit came out, you can't even see the whole thing. It's so large. I freaked out because it was the first time I had ever seen anything like this for Mars attacks. Oh, wrong click. Bang. There we go. Hi. So, yeah. Before we get into the fun stuff, quickly, yeah. If you're new, subscribe. If not, hit the notify bell. That's what we're doing here. It's a free... Amanda, yes, please, we need a break from that. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be the news for the next, who knows when. And I don't need to say anything. There are plenty of other people yapping. So, that's the only thing I'll say is a lot of people don't need, not everybody needs to say something. Especially me. Yeah, hopefully it'll all get sorted out. I have family that live in Washington, D.C., and yeah, it's awful. The whole thing's awful. But you know what's not awful? Mars Attacks, the original card series. And we're going to talk as much Mars Attacks as I personally know. We're going to talk about it. Elizabeth, aloha. What's up? I like the word aloha. It's just like, It sounds like, It does sound... I've never been to Hawaii. One day I will. I would love to surf Hawaii. Yeah, anything new? Let me think. Oh, so Friday, I am not sure if it is going to be Behind the Devil's Curtain. Only because I want it to be really good. So we'll see how much work I get done tomorrow and Friday. But yes, stay tuned. Friday night, 8 p.m. It might be Behind the Devil's Curtain episode... 6? Yeah. It's going to be called UFOs and Baloney. And it's going to be fun. If this show drops for any reason, now live, jump onto Instagram. That is my, whatchamacallit, forever haha. What else? Yeah. So let's talk about Mars attacks. When I was a little kid, yeah, I just want to cut right to the chase. If we have Mars Attacks fans in here, I want you to chime in. As you saw the title, it's called I Love Mars Attacks But Hate the Movie, which is what this is about. A lot of people listen. I have 2 of these shirts. I like it so much. And when I wear it out in public, people always go, I love the movie! And I'm like, yeah, movie's great. I don't really... it would take too long for me to explain it, so I just go along with it. But honestly, I remember the night I saw the movie. But my earliest experience with Mars Attacks was this. I remember being a little kid and in comic book stores hearing about it. Now, while I'm talking here, I'm going to be moving some props because I have... oh, good Lord. I have lots of model kits. Look, this one comes apart. This was a resin kit, which I'll talk about in a second. So, I was in comic book stores, and I heard about Mars Attacks. And the comic book shop guy goes, look what Topps just made. Something called Dinosaurs Attack. Oh, the news? Yeah. And here, I'm going to do a little close-up here. So, Dinosaurs Attack was basically the new thing. And I didn't even know that it was the new thing because I didn't know what the old thing is, and neither do any of you. So let's talk about it. All right. So what is Mars Attacks? Where did it come from? Well, if you're ever interested, they did, Topps, make a book called Mars Attacks with the history of where it comes from. Not only did they make this book, which I'm going to show a lot of, it comes in bubblegum wrap. And it even has the bubblegum on the front. And if you're like me and grew up with bubblegum cards, you remember when they were broken and brittle. This book is brilliant. If you can find it, get it. It's going to be collectible. And you'll see why in a second. So in 1962, Topps trading card, baseball cards, put out a new card series that was going to cash in on the fact that little kids, little boys, it was basically a little boy thing, were in love with the modern science fiction films. Flying saucer movies, aliens, ray guns, the whole 9 yards. So they were like, we're going to make a trading card series. Turns out that it was actually originally called Attack from Space, and then it became Mars Attacks. They used This Island Earth, the film, as the model for the aliens. And I don't know if you can see that guy? Look, good Lord, doesn't it look familiar? That's This Island Earth. It's a 1950s B movie. I don't know if it was a B movie, but it's a movie. And they made a trading card series where Martians invade Earth. Here's the problem. It was too violent, the cards, and I'm going to show them to you. And they pulled the plug on it. Okay, gone. Parents threw them in the garbage, gone. And that's why it's valuable. I was telling my dad today. My dad thinks everything's valuable. I said, yeah, some things are. But you got to look for things people are throwing in the garbage. That's what's valuable. The reason why Superman #1 is valuable, or I should say Action Comic #1, is because everybody read it and then threw it out. And if you had a stack of them, when you got to be 18, your mom threw them out. They didn't care. And that's why they're valuable. So if you ever want to collect things people have thrown in the garbage. That's it. So they're valuable, these cards. Like that. Like already, people are like, I want to collect these. They're valuable. You can't get them. What's up, silly? And so I heard about them. And then here is Dinosaurs Attacks. And I had never seen the Mars Attacks. So here we go. Here are the actual Dinosaurs Attack cards. Let me see here if I can show these. This is going to be a little hard to do. So I have the full set in the sleeves in mint condition. They came out in the mid-'80s. And these were also ultraviolet. Let me see if I can find one of the ones that's got some really nasty... Yeah. Like that guy right there getting splattered by a giant footprint. And here's how this is basically the gist of Mars Attacks. And also Dinosaurs Attacks. They have the same plot. Plot? Did you say plot? Well, yeah. These trading cards, when you put them in order, tell a story. So if you collect them and you kind of organize them, you can read them and kind of make a story. And now that you have seen that, now you should see the original Mars Attacks cards. Now, I do not own a set. They are worth, I think a full set is like 35 grand. Not kidding. $35,000. Yeah. So, I mean, that's insane. I think individual ones go for $500, $1,000. There's only one sealed in a package in existence. One. And it's photographed. I'm going to find it and show it to you. There's a picture of it. Here it is. That's it. That's the package. It's the only one in existence. And here we go. So this book, the reason why it's great, goes through each card of the series. And it has the back and the front. And you get to look at it and read it. And let me show you some of the violent card images, just so you can get a grip on this, because they are kind of brutal. All right, this one here is amusing. Slightly racist. Slightly. Where are we here? Oh my goodness, where's the hand cam? Here we go. So this one here is called Saucers Invade China. So you have some stereotypical Chinese guys. But look, the dude's brain's hanging out of his forehead, top of his head. And the guy's ribs are coming out underneath. I mean, it's pretty, you know, for the early 60s, that is like definitely pretty over the top. Now look at this one. My favorite one, which I have a giant poster of, I'm just going to hold this one up, is that one. So they kidnapped pretty ladies and killed everybody else. Pretty funny. In the story, it's follows basically the, you know, it's not like the movie. They just show up, invade, start killing, unleash the bugs. They had large, giant bugs, which I wish was in the movie, but and they invade, and eventually the humans show up and save the day. In the early 90s, they did extra cards. This one comes with cards right here that fit into the storyline. So that is what Mars Attacks is. It's a trading card. That's it. And the Martians are scary. They're tall. And they're brutal. And they're not there to make friends. They're there to kill and take over Earth. And I always wondered, like, wow, what a great movie that would be. And I imagined it like Flash Gordon, where it's dead serious, yet it looks kind of goofy just because of the design, right? But it's taken serious, you know? So 1995, I believe Screamin', this company here, put out vinyl model kits. And I only have one. They made 3 or 4 of them. This was my favorite. It looks like this when it's assembled and the Martian goes here. Dude, it's really great. I entered this into a contest once years ago. Didn't win, but I really like that. I was like, that's a good capture of what it is. They're big, scary, that's it, okay? Here's another model kit. This came out not that long ago. This came out 6 years ago, maybe? And when this came out, I was like, what the? This is brilliant. Wait till you see this one. And this one's cheap. This one didn't cost anything. This was like a $20 model kit. Look at this guy. This one's styrene. And the Martian, I'm going to take him off and give you a close-up. He is really good. His head. Right? He just came out really good. The guy on the base is not as sculpted as well. He's kind of simple and kind of flat. But it's okay. And I eventually will put a light in here so it lights up. But the Martian is really well made. Here, let me see if this one. Yowzo. Look at him. The detail on him is great. I really took my time with this guy. I wish the helmet didn't have a crease. There was no way to get rid of that. I tried. It just I mean, I would have to build one from scratch. So that's it for I mean, now wait, I'm gonna get into some other stuff. But then the movie came out. And let's talk about the movie. Um, see, William, you didn't know. Yeah, no, Rod, what's up, Rod? That's for me. That is Mars Attacks. It's trading cards and model kits, and there's a game which I'm going to show you in a second. Actually, there's two games. So, the movie. Of course, I was excited. Tim Burton, Danny Elfman, cameos from what? 50 actors? Do you remember the poster? It had like every actor in it, like on the bottom, right? Most people I meet like the film. I hated it. I left the theater. I wanted my money back and my time. I mean, I was like, and I'll start by saying this before I talk about the movie. I'm going to say it. I love B movies, but I don't like it when people try to make a B movie. You can't do it. You can't do it. It's like a billionaire trying to put out a punk rock record. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. Impossible. So, okay, we'll talk about that in a second. What makes a B movie a B movie, right? So they're trying to make a B movie, a parody, a satire of sorts. And originally, it was supposed to be stop motion, which Tim Burton has worked with a lot. But I guess it got down to the crunch of the budget, and it was like not doing the stop motion. Way too much time and energy and money. So they went with CG, and to me, that's one of the failings of it, which I'll get into in a second. Let's just talk about the story. I mean, I don't mind movies where nothing happens, but it still has to have a flow and a hook that kind of gets you to the next scene. And the hook in this one, I think they were going for, was the celebrity thing. Like, let's cast 1 million people and have them doing, Jack Nicholson plays 2 parts. He's the president and some, like, rich gambler guy. But why? Like, okay, so artistically, why all the celebrities? Are you commenting on Hollywood? Are you like Hollywood's trash and the aliens are going to kill them all? Okay, so that's one thing. Like, I want to know why. Why? Why are you spending this many millions of dollars? Oh, to entertain. Okay. So instead of making it scary because it looks silly, they took the easy way out and they made it goofy. It's like a comedian swearing. It's like an easy thing. You just tell a dirty joke and you think you're going to be funny. Well, even a comedian has to not rely on just dirty humor. He still has to be good, right? So I guess their idea was, let's cast all of these celebrities and have them. It's a little bit of a wink, wink to the audience, right? It's not a funny movie. There's no belly laughs. There's lots of, what did I call it last show? The I get it laugh. Those laughs. Tons. Ho! Ha! But no, like spit out your popcorn laugh. Not happening. Because there's no surprise. There's no funny surprise. And, I mean, literally, there's like 50 celebrities. There's even famous musicians. Tom Jones has a part in the movie. The other thing I didn't like, so we have that, right? You have the humans. The human scenes, whenever they have humans talking, who cares? Then the Martians show up. Now, they made the Martians little, not 8 feet tall, which I thought they were going to go the route of the Zanti Misfits episode of Outer Limits, which I don't want to ruin. I thought they were going to go that route with the plot, but they did not. They just show up and they're little and they're kind of, you don't know what their intentions are. And like that, they start blasting and killing and, you're on your feet. Woo, they're destroying. Well, first of all, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the destroying and killing celebrities in a fun, fantastic manner. Sure. But I'm not into the same CG graphic used every single time you shoot somebody. The hook of the cards is everybody dies in a different way on the cards. One guy's squashed, one guy's liquefied, right? This one, they all go, bop, 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 and they like turn to a skeleton and kind of fall. After the 10th one, you're like, I don't care. I just don't care. If they were stop motion, maybe it would be a little charming and that would be the hook, but it's not. And the other thing is they stole the plot end from Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which is a parody of sorts of a B movie, but it's a real B movie. It had a small budget. It had a tiny budget. And there you go, folks. I mean, why? Why are you making a B movie? Why? You don't. You can't. You have a budget. It's not a B movie. B movie, the B in B movie doesn't stand for A, B. It stands for budget for me. If you have a low budget, you have to be creative. It might look unpolished. It might look a little cheap. But cheap doesn't mean anything if the script is good and the actors are good. The other thing in a B movie is you do have bad acting. Now, you know me. I hate bad acting. But I will forgive it in a B movie when the actors are going for it. When they're really giving it their all. That's what I see in a B movie. I see untrained people really trying hard. And I see the director going, all right, we can't afford that. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know. Let's film it this way. You start to problem solve. And that's why a B movie, have you ever seen the film Little Shop of Horrors? Not the new one, the B movie version, the Roger Corman version. They shot it in 3 days. All principal photography done in 3 days. I'm not kidding. It's a great movie. Why? Because the script is good. The story is good. Yeah, and the actor is good. And guess who's in that movie? Jack Nicholson. It's his first movie. If you've never seen it and you're a Jack Nicholson fan, watch Little Shop of Horrors. It's definitely free online. I think it's a public domain movie at this point. Roger Corman is a genius. In 3 days. And all of the credits are hand-drawn. Or they're art. It's like paintings and drawings. You know? I think B movies are wonderful for that reason. That's how I got interested in all the stuff. I mean, you're watching people do with what they have, right? Look at Night of the Living Dead. Look at Evil Dead. Look at all of these old movies. They didn't have a budget. They had a really low budget, and they made amazing art that changed history, changed filmmaking, influenced entire generations of people. That movie Mars Attacks will eventually be forgotten, I believe. I was watching clips of it the other day, and there's a couple cute moments. It's not unwatchable, but it's just why, and after a while, there's a couple cute parts, but, watching Sarah Jessica Parker, and they're like dialogue scenes in it, I don't know. Flash Gordon, it looks vintage, what's the word, dated, right? The spaceships were like 1930s spaceships, but they didn't they didn't make it goofy. It is what it is. And I thought, imagine this film. Imagine they made Mars Attacks, the movie, and they made it look scary as living hell. And not only are they scary, they look like what I just showed you. They're like 8 feet tall with dripping wet brains, and they, their eyes look like they're ready to, and imagine that. Imagine like the violence being way over the top and really kind of hard to watch. But you got these giant goofy aliens, and then the bugs show up, and they're eating people. I would love to see that movie. They need to be tall, not little. I hate that they're little. I mean, it should have been in the film they're showing up, and either the humans see them on a video screen and think they're like this big, right? Maybe there's something to scale it so that, like, oh look, they're little, and then when they get out of the ship, they're tall, right? And they're like, oh, whoa, I thought you were 2 feet tall. You're 8 feet tall, and you're all got rifles. What the heck? Like, that would have been cool. Or, I'll ruin the episode of Outer Limits because I don't think anybody here is going to watch. Spoiler, there's an alien. NASA's, like, communicating with it, and they're like, oh no, these things are going to land. And when the alien lands, it's this big. It's a flying saucer. It's like, beep, 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 and they're like, what? It's this big. And guess what? The aliens are like this big. They're like these little guys. So that's the surprise. So maybe that's it. Maybe they're, they think they're giant, and then they show up and they're these, they should have made them even smaller then. I don't know. There's not, okay, so the plot, the end, there's a song that kills them, a music. Slim Whitman. And I do like Slim Whitman. They stole it right out of it. It's Killer Tomatoes. Same. Straight out. Yeah. I doubt I'll ever watch that film ever again. I might watch a clip or two, but I won't watch it. Killer Tomatoes I'll watch. That's funny. And I like the way it looks. It's film. It's on film, and it looks B-movie-ish. Amanda says, a lot of the indie horror films are scary because of how creative the filmmakers get. Well, okay, here's a major film that had that. Jaws. Right up. There it is. Jaws, the damn shark broke. They didn't know what to do. So they didn't film it as much. Guess what? It did what you just said. It's scarier. Way scarier. Yeah. It's an example of filmmaking. I mean, when you problem solve creatively, it's going to be better. It really is. Now, let's move forward. Mars Attacks. The film comes, it goes. They put out a model kit. They put out, they've never reprinted the cards. There's no, like, actual, like, fake reprint. And that's okay. I think that's kind of cool that they'll never reprint them. Now, they did do Topps 6 years ago. This. They did new ones. An entire new series. And it was Kickstartered by Topps. I'm going to show this to you. And it is one of the most beautiful card series I have ever seen. And I Kickstartered it. I even got, because I Kickstartered it, one of the metal plates that they used to print. It's in here. Let me show you what these look like. Yes, they're violent. Yes, the girls in it are wearing skimpy outfits. It's not politically correct, which is how I like it. And, wow, here, look. I'm going to click down here. Oh, no. There we go. Folks. Now, it's hard because they're on sideways, but I don't know if you can see this. Here's somebody's head on fire. They're really well done, and they had some famous artists do the art for some of these. There's some Alex Ross. I mean, there's some, like, amazing. Let me see here. Oh, wow, look at this. Yeah, see, there's some scantily clad women. It looks very Alex Ross. For those of you that don't know who Alex Ross is, the best way I can describe his art for comics is they look like movies. Yes, they're drawings. Yes, they look cinematic. They don't look comic book. They look like movies, and that's what this looks like. I Kickstartered it and got the fancier version that came with the binder and tons of extra stuff. It even came with a Dinosaurs Attack meets Mars Attacks set. I mean, if you're a Mars Attacks guy, this was like high holy ground. And then Mantic Games from the UK Some of you know this. I'm a major Mantic Games guy. I like a lot of their stuff. I believe they're all ex-Games Workshop guys. Which I understand. I'm going to do a whole show on that. So I'm going to show you the game, which is now out of print. From what I gather, it didn't do well after the Kickstarter. It did well as a Kickstarter, but that was it. The game has some problems. Unfortunately, I don't play it that much. I wish I did. I do like it. I'm going to put out... Now, there's so many miniatures. I'm only going to put out a few. The thing that I liked about these are they... My God, folks, these miniatures... There. Look at these guys. Look how cute. They have little tiny helmets. Oh, my God. Look at these. Look at the little helmets. They're adorable. And then, here we go. I'm going to show you some other ones now. Let's move this back. We got flying saucers. Oh, yeah, that's right, Sherman. I think we did play this maybe a while ago. Here's a Stompy robot. This one I magnetized the arms. If you're a model builder, you know what this is. It's just easier. You just drill holes and put magnets. Now, let me show you the game. The game, here's the box. I'm sure you can get used... Oh, there's a hole in the box. Well, you can get a used copy of this, I'm sure. And the reason why I say that is I'm pretty sure it didn't do well. I remember they had a clearance. The board is a grid of sorts, but it looks just like a street. Nothing fancy. The rule books are like comic book size. Pretty darn easy to follow. And if you know the film and you're a fan of the film, which I'm not, there are burning cows. Let me put this on now. Remember the movie with the burning cows? Well, look at this. That is burning cattle, folks. Those cows are on fire. It did come with cards. There are cards in the game. And there are civilians. There's Grandma in the wheelchair. Right? It uses 8-sided dice. Cards, tokens. You know what? I'm going to play this damn game in the next month. I got to play this game. I forgot it. It's fun. So the game works like this, and here's the flaw. Everybody wants to be the Martians. The opposing team is the army. Or, it's not the... It's the army, but it's also... there are humans, too. Like, star pupils, you know? And so how it works is you have your team, they have their team, you have scenery. You draw a card, and it might be used... Each card has something for the Martian, something for the human. And you can keep them and power up and do major things. Like, if you save 3 of the flying saucer, this finally comes and blasts 1 square. But you might lose cards before that, and then you can't do it. Same with the Stompy robot, right? So the game is played in turns, and you go back and forth and blow each other up. That's it. Yeah. It's great. It's not a bad game. It's just there are better ones now. Now, if you're a fanboy fluff gamer like me, this is good. For the non-gamers, fanboy, you know what that is. Fluff gamer, a fluff gamer is somebody that usually doesn't like abstract games like checkers or Othello, Yahtzee. They want things that have a story and a theme and a movie tie-in or something. That's the fluff, the extra crap. I am a fluff gamer. I like the fluff. I like the background story. I like, you know, the details and all the stuff involved. And of course, the fluff of this is something I adore. Aesthetically and symbolically and historically, it came from the 60s generation. I like that. And so That's what I wanted, and that's what this game is. It's fine. It has everything in it. For those that like a hardcore strategy, not this. Is there strategy? Yeah, tons. But it's not a strategy game. It's a board game with miniatures, and they don't come painted. That's the other flaw. These miniatures, if you want them good, you have to put the helmet and paint them, or else they look like crap. And they're called hobby games. The hobby is you build the game and make it cool. That's me. These are made for me. They're not made for most of you. You're not going to do that. It's a lot. Haha, Alex Ross, Kingdom Come. Yes, sir. I like his art a lot. Justice. One of my favorites. I like his DC stuff the best. I'm not a Marvel guy. I'm a DC guy. Even when I was a kid, all the other kids were now... Marvel was the newer one and cooler, and I like Batman and Superman and Aquaman. That's what I liked. Swamp Thing over Man Thing, even though Man Thing's first. People don't know that. So yeah, what B movies do you guys like? Throw them out there. I'm curious of what you did like about Mars Attacks. I think people liked the film because they didn't know anything about it and it was new. It's like, oh my God, there's this funny movie about, there's a funny movie about Martians and it's kind of goofy and it's a B movie. I think people just saw that and went with it. I call filmmakers like, what's his name? Tim Burton. And Tarantino, even though Tim Burton blows Tarantino for me out of the water, those filmmakers, I call them curators. They're taking things from other genres that nobody knows about and going, look what I have, because I'm cool, I'm showing you. I'd rather go to the source. I've always been that way. I prefer that. I prefer the original. And then I'll go look at the other one. Jimmy D in the house. Yeah, if anybody's watching and they're new, hit that subscribe button trying to get up there. I really do like old movies. Here we go. Ralph Snyder. Killer Clowns. So, okay, Killer Clowns. Good example. All right, I know a lot about this movie because it's definitely in my favorites. Killer Clowns from Outer Space was made for $1 million. $1 million. That's not a lot of money. For 1987? Is it 87 or 88? 87, I believe. They had a lot of actors that were new. They hired a couple of veterans. They hired decent actors. They wrote a great script, and they took it dead serious. That's a beautiful movie. If anybody's watching and has never seen Killer Clowns, go watch it. It is good. There's the kill scenes are wonderful, and you're waiting to see the next one because you don't know what they're gonna do. And just as something happens, you're like, now what are they gonna do? Oh my God, he twists a balloon animal into a dog, and now that's chasing him. But they make it a little scary. Not goofy, scary. There's a couple scenes in that, like, there's a prison scene. Oh, you gotta see it. I didn't know that. I gotta watch that. I'm sure that the Netflix party Reverend Campbell threw for Killer Clowns that Silly's mentioning was a blast. It's a really... Yeah, every kill's different. There's no CG. It's all practical effects. There's miniature work. It's a great B movie. And it is a B movie. They had a low budget. They had to make everything themselves. The Chiodo brothers, they're called. I hope they make the sequel. They've been saying for, almost 40 years now, they're going to make a sequel. They might. Come on, what other good B movies are there? Let's go. Let's see. Well, Night of the Living Dead. Evil Dead 1 and 2. Low budget. Army of Darkness, bigger budget, not as good. It's okay. What other good, famous, low-budget movies? You know what's a low-budget movie? Lord of the Rings. Now, before you start saying you're crazy, Lord of the Rings was made way lower budget than was needed. All the actors took pay cuts. The Room. Yes, we'll get to that. That's true. Chainsaw, yes. Okay, now we're going. All right, just think about these B movies and why they're good. You can't make a B movie. So let's think about this as a group. How would you make a $1 billion B movie and make it mean something? Well, if you had something to say. If you're like, hey, I'm a rich guy and I'm going to show you how I make a B movie. I'm going to make a B movie with $1 billion. I mean, there's a way to do it. But you got to have something to say. What are you saying? Are you saying something about the society, the people, the actors? Maybe you're making fun of the actors and they don't even know it, which I believe has been done before. Stanley Kubrick, Eyes Wide Shut. Watch Eyes Wide Shut with the thought that Stanley Kubrick is literally making fun of the rich actors he's dealing with on how shallow they are, and they don't even know. Pretty awesome art. The Room. Oh, Russ Myers? Of course they count. They're low budget and awesome. He is a good low budget director, Russ Myers. Tobe Hooper, Chainsaw Massacre. Clearly a labor of love done by somebody who understands nuance. That's a brilliant movie. The Room. Okay, so why is The Room great? It's great because of the lead guy. It's him. It's him. You get to watch this odd human being basically try to make a Hollywood film with a low budget. I mean, that's it. It is what it is, and it works. But when you have a major film guy, all right, let's think now. Who made a B movie with a large budget and made it work? I can answer a few. John Waters. There's a Rocky Horror. I don't know about that. I don't know what their budget was for that. It looks wonderful. But it might have been a low budget. What's $6 million? Killer Clowns was $6 million? Well, okay. Lord of the Rings was made for $300. Each of those movies was $100 million. Now, watch one of them and go and compare it to another movie that costs $100 million. And you'll go, wow, how do they do it? Well, because they hired a low-budget filmmaker. Peter Jackson made low-budget movies. He knows how to go, all right, I don't have a lot of money for that, but we're going to do it this way. That's what he did. They did lots of in-camera. All right, Jimmy D. Toxic Avenger. Brilliant movie. A real B movie made by somebody. Oh, okay. Night of the Scarecrow is a TV movie. We'll talk about that in a second. You guys are off the charts now. Toxic Avenger has really touching moments. It has goofy moments, but it has really gross, hard to believe moments too. And it's a good movie. You know they're making a sequel or a remake. And I forget, I just saw who's playing Toxic Avenger. It was somebody weird. Wait. Was it somebody really little or something? I forget what it is. It's something weird. Okay, so Troma makes B movies. Those are real B movies. Return of the Living Dead, I don't think is a B movie. I think they had a budget. That's a Canon Films production. They had money. I don't know what the budget was, but they definitely had money. Night of the Scarecrow, I saw it as a child on television, and it scared the heck out of me. You can get it on DVD. It's a cool film. A little slow, but neat story. That I wouldn't mind a remake of. That I would. There's a line in it, Bubba didn't do it. Bubba didn't do it. Oof. That movie messed me up as a little kid. It's pretty scary. Return of the Living Dead has some goofy moments, but it gets dead serious. And I like that. Yeah, I think Return of the Living Dead I think had a budget. I think they did. Dawn of the Dead, I don't know what their budget was. It's still a low budget. Yeah, it was a TV movie. A good one. Oh, Salem's Lot. I like that movie. From what I hear, the book ain't so good. Hard to say. Oh, you saw Dark Knight. Okay, so the premise is, and we'll tell people here, it's a little bit like Of Mice and Men at the beginning. There's a little girl, and she has a special needs friend who's an adult. He's an adult. He's like, I don't know, 35-year-old guy. And he's really big, and he's really gentle, and he's clearly mentally retarded. I mean, he's really slow. And they have a relationship where they play, and it's cute. Well, the little girl dies, and they blame him, even though it's not his fault. And the town doesn't like him, and so the cop and another guy, they kind of go hunt him down. And his mother says, Bubba, you remember what I said? If anybody ever bothers you, what to do? You know, if there's ever a problem. And he goes, yep, I know. And he goes. And you're like, well, where's he going? So as they're hunting him, they see in the middle of a field a scarecrow. And they realize it's him. He's hiding. And they kill him. And I won't tell you anymore. Great movie. Nukem High, low budget, brilliant filmmaking, way well made. Trauma, early Trauma. New Trauma, Frank Henenlotter, Frankenhooker, his movies, Basket Case. These are real directors with a low budget. And what you get good stuff. Yeah, Scrambled. Oh, right, they used to scramble movies. God, that must have been frustrating, Jimmy. You're just like, oh, I can't see anything, but I know what's going on. Yeah, I grew up on B movies. I didn't like them because they were B movies. I'm more like, I only like B movies. I hate that. What the heck's that mean? I only like cheap movies. No, I like good movies, and it just so happens that I think the ones with the lower budgets are better sometimes, and the subject matter's good. Stuff Hollywood won't touch. Rick Sherman points out Halloween. I don't know the budget of that film. I don't. But I'm assuming by you writing it, and you know a lot about movies, that it's probably a low budget. I mean, come on. Good movie. Now, the movie like The Thing, I don't think that was a cheap movie when that one came out. But they hired a good director. Yeah, it's all about the director, man. He's the captain of the ship. If the film sucks, it's his fault. If you're a good director, you can take crappy actors and either A, edit them better, or coach them. You can. You are the captain if you're the director. It's your problem. I've seen really good directors take bad actors and really get something out of them. I've never seen a bad director take really good actors and get anything out of them. Never. I've seen bad directors have good actors and it not work. Because that guy won't let them. Foxy Brown. That's the new one, right? I don't know these. That one I don't know. That's the Tarantino. I hear out of his films that's one of the better ones. Eating Raw? I don't know that one. Eating Raw? I don't know. I'll check it out. I don't like, there's a few types of movies I won't watch. Like that movie, A Serbian Film, I won't watch. I read the plot and said, I never need to see that. If anybody wants to know what that is, I ain't even going to say. Just look it up. It's called A Serbian Film. Not for the faint of heart. Horrible. Martyrs is pretty brutal, but I liked. I don't know if that had a low budget. See, I don't know what the budgets are for these. Who cares? I like good movies. So, wow. Yeah. That's my take on Mars Attacks. I'm curious of your thoughts. Comment in here. I really like. I hope something else comes out. I hope there's either a new movie. What about a video game? Can you imagine? I don't even play video games, but imagine being able to fight Martians. Look, I wrote down. Yeah, why don't they make a new movie? I think there's a market for it, but it's got to be scary. Oh, I might have to write a script. There's that old saying: if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and they'll be less qualified, maybe. So maybe I should do it. We have any writers in here? Oh, well, Rick Sherman. I don't know if you want to do it. Can you imagine writing the new Mars Attacks script? Pretty cool. Well, what I would do is read the cards again and go through them and make it closer to the real thing. Use the source material and, not make it stupid. Make it serious. Yeah, no, you're right. Silly Swastika just said, I think Tim Burton sandbagged Mars Attacks because he couldn't do stop motion. It's possible. I don't like all the celebrities in it either. They don't do anything. You're supposed to be like, ooh, so-and-so's in it. Like, I don't care. I'm sick of celebrities. It's like, no one cares, especially now. I think the celebrity thing is getting a little bit less heat. I think it's happening because of channels like YouTube, you know? People find other people, like, first of all, fame's relative, right? So you got the Hollywood famous, but now there's other things showing up that people do for entertainment that's not Hollywood. Unfortunately, YouTube is getting a little squeezed into, it's like turning into that. Why? Because there's more money involved and it's a circle. But if you think about it, YouTube was built on low budget, on this, on me being a guy in my living room talking to you. That's it. I mean, that's what YouTube is. Oh my God. Yeah, imagine Mars Attacks, full-blown stop motion with everything stop motion. That would be cool. Even animated might be cool, but I'm a little tired of animated stuff. I'm going to be honest. I'm tired of animated. I'm tired of the Pixar look. There's a certain look. I'm getting a little tired. I've seen enough. Stop motion, I'm not tired of. I mean, look at the Wes Anderson movie. The stop motion animation with the dogs. Wow. Fantastic. Even the scenes that are boring, you can at least go like, wow, someone made that. And they're moving it right now. I can see the fingerprints, you know, and like the hair moving. Whenever you watch stop motion, their hairs are always moving. Like you'll see a hair. Yeah. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. I'm waiting for King Kong Godzilla. Or I should say Godzilla versus King Kong. That's the title. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be cool. I like what Legendary and their big budget did to Godzilla King of the Monsters. I did not like their first Godzilla at all. I think they blew it. I think Kong Skull Island is the best one out of that series so far. Oh! There it is. Kong Skull Island is a big budget, low budget, awesome movie. The plot is thin. There's not that many actors in it. There's a couple A-list actors, yeah. But it's kind of a simple plot. It's a monster movie, a big King Kong monster movie. And it's good. I love it. I've seen it a bunch of times. It's really good. Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's it. Good movie. Thoughts? Before I kick out of here. Because I actually might go work on my UFO episode right now. This is what I want to get out. I've been into the UFO thing my whole life, but recently I'm immersed in it. Since the photograph came out recently, there's a new photograph. So here's what I need. Here's your homework. Go look up these things. Bob Lazar, Lazar, There's a Netflix documentary about him. I don't like the movie. You should still watch it because I'm going to talk a lot about it. There's flaws in the film that point to things that I don't want to say what they are yet. The other thing is you should look up the Pentagon and what they say about UAPs. That's the new word for UFO, UAP. Unidentified aerial phenomena. And also look up Pentagon new UFO photo. They released a new one. They don't know what it is. And you got to read the details. It's just one thing to say, hey, there's this weird thing in the sky. But then they go, oh yeah, it was underwater, shot out, and rose this high at this speed. Huh? That's weird. So, Lieber Liz. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hated the film. I mean, I don't know what you thought. I mean, I'll quickly say it. That movie is not about Bob Lazar. It's basically about the filmmaker on his phone trying to look cute for the camera. I'm not kidding. The guy's in the movie like 80-90% of the film. There's even him in his bathroom making phone call footage. I mean, it's horrible filmmaking. They hired someone to do a voiceover it's just... And I think it actually discredited some things that I thought had credit, which is kind of weird. But now you know the story, Lieber Liz, and you kind of get the nuance to that story. What you know, I'm going to add to. I'm going to give you some things that you're going to like that fit into what you saw. Yeah, Lieber Liz. Yeah, we'll talk about it. So anybody out there watching, if you're having fun with these shows, which I certainly am, the least you can do is subscribe. That's it. Subscribe. I'm a happy camper. Those of you that got some cash to toss around, bam, donate. If you got any extra anything, it all goes in the show. $5, $10. And if anybody throws $25, you get put on my list of the original people that were the first ones to found this channel, and you will get cool things. I'm right now shooting some stuff for that, actually, as we speak. Just for you guys. Some special little things. And that's going to turn into something else. So I'm going to read my list really quick. These are the people so far. I love you all. It's amazing. I've already got a bunch of gear because of these people. Max Heel, Wailing Wizard, Don Slater, Alexander Ray, Ian McDonald, Sean Bonner, Artiri, Mark Muggsy, Jimmy D, Donna V, Ashworth 77, Talon, Mark Muggsy, and Michael DeHill. Thank you. You're all on my list. Without you, I would not have gotten this gear that I have in front of me. I'm working on a camera. It's expensive. So that's where it's going now. You guys are cool. Thank you, everybody in here watching. I got Sean, Jimmy D, Steven Smith, Silly, Sway, Lieber Liz, who else? Sherman, Silly, Amanda, Elizabeth. Who else is in here? Everybody. Eric, William Nemeth, Rod, Amanda J. What's up? Jimmy D. Yeah, thank you, everybody in here chatting. You make this show fun. You're a smart, cool crowd, and you have good taste, especially in films. Yeah, that was fun. I've always wanted to do one on what my Mars attacks, what I like and what I don't like. And flying saucers are fun. So stay tuned. My show that's coming up sooner than later is going to be called, it's Behind the Devil's Curtain, UFOs and Baloney. So I'm going to take you out with my outro, and then I'll just throw up for fun, because some of you have never seen it, the trailer for Behind the Devil's Curtain. Be safe. Don't watch too much TV. Yes, we have to watch the news now a bit to make sure the world's not burning, but don't watch too much. Go read a book, learn something fun, and create with your hands something new. My name is Cardone. This is my evening hour show. I love it. I love doing it for you, and I got a lot more coming. So, folks, I'm over and out. Thank you.